Okay, well, if you were watching my last video, you know I had a little bit of an equipment disaster, but I did manage to get all 7 holes drilled. You can flip it over and you can actually see through them, so I know I did a good job drilling my holes despite my drill bit disaster. Now, I want to show you that this method is called Japanese stab binding. That's what it's called, Japanese stab binding. And here's the essential stitch goes like this. When I say around, I mean around the edge of the book, around the back. Now you're actually going to be able to see the pages through there, and that's part of how it works. So you're going to go around the book, over, around, under. So you're essentially going over, under, over, under, over, under. But in between each of those, you're going around. So it's around, over, around, under, and so on. Then you come back. Then you tie a knot. Now, embroidery floss works really well. It comes in lots of different colors. If you use all 6 strands of it together, it's very sturdy. It doesn't stretch out, so it works pretty well. You can buy linen bookbinding cord. CCC Bookstore has it. It's very sturdy. It works well. I've had students use dental floss. Maybe 2 or 3 strands of dental floss. If you can't find anything else, you can always use dental floss, and then your book will have a minty fresh smell too. So what I'm going to do for my book is I'm going to use ribbon as just something I had on hand. So I have 2 strands of very, very skinny ribbon, orange and purple. Now you have to make sure you have a needle that is big enough of a hole for your cord to go through. I've had students get a needle that has a very, very tiny eye, and they're trying really hard to get their ribbon through it over, and it doesn't go through it, and it's kind of frustrating. So make sure your needle has a nice big hole. Now it's kind of like sewing. You thread your needle and you just leave yourself a few inches hanging there, and then at the end you do not tie a knot. Okay. Now, how much do you use? I always do, I don't know, what is this, about a yard, maybe from as far as I can reach to about my neck. That's a good length. If you do it much longer than that, it's going to get so tangled up and knotted, you're going to get really frustrated. If it's shorter than that, you might run out, and then what? You know, you have to pick it all out and start over. So, okay, come closer. Whatever hole you go in, that's where your knot's going to be. So if I started with this hole right here, my knot's going to end up here. If I start down here, my knot's going to be there. If I don't want my knot to show, maybe I want to put the knot at the back of it. So wherever you go in, that's where your knot is. And usually the knot, you tie it and it's part of the decoration. I've had students put like a tassel or some beads or something kind of creative at the end of their knot. That's kind of a nice thing to do. So what I like to do is, a student came up with this idea, so that I don't have to worry about it falling out, I'm going to tuck these 2 under here. Now they're out of my way, and they're not going to be bothering me while I'm sewing, and I don't have to worry about losing it. So I just tucked it under that bracket there. I think I'm going to go in, the second hole. Okay, so, okay. Now remember, I'm going to go around, which is around the edge. And now you want to keep pulling it tight. Every time you do it, pull it tight. You don't want it loose, or the binding will become loose over time. Nice and tight. Now I'm going to go under. Okay, what do I do next? I go around. See how that's holding it in? Now I'm going to go over. Pulling it nice and tight. Now I'm going to go around. Under. Around. Over. Around, under, You see, if you look at the back, it looks just kind of the same as the front. Around. Okay, now what? I'm at the end. I want the end part to also be contained and safe, so I'm going to go around the end one time so that the end of it's also secure. Now I'm going to do the opposite, but I don't have to go do the around part again because I already did it once. So I'm going to go over, holding it tight with my thumb, under, over, under. See, now I'm glad I have these nice big holes. Over, under, oops. Now I haven't gone around this one yet, so I'm going to go around. Oops. Now, let's see, that's nice and tight. I want to wrap that end just like I did the other end. Now, I'm at the very end of my project here. You see, I still have one more stitch to do, but this is where I tie the knot. So this is where if you had a partner with a finger, you'd be lucky to help you with this. I'm going to tie my knot here.
Do you want my finger?
Yeah. Hard, really hard, because I'm gonna, nice to have a filming person who's also got a finger. Okay, pull.
Thank God.
There. Now, I think I will, cut, I'm gonna tie one more just to make sure. I don't want it to come undone. As I said, some people will put some beads in here, or tie a pom-pom on it, or a tassel of some kind, or buttons. I've done it with buttons too. See? So now the knot is just part of the book design. Let's test it out. My book is called Bobbers the Picky Mouse. And I'm really happy with the book that I made with my beautiful paste paper and my Japanese binding. And I hope that you really enjoy making your books.